Hi friends, my name is Jorge Muñoz. I'm a senior instructor pilot working in El Salvador, but today we're going to continue our last holiday before the pandemic. During the last days of December 2019 and January 2020. If you haven't seen the first video of this blog/diary/day in the life I'm making, I'll leave the link to that video on your screen right now and on the description below. However, today it's December 25th. That's right, we are traveling on a bus during the early morning of Christmas. But oh well, right now we are heading to Brussels, Belgium, with a company called Flixbus. A friend of mine from the airport recommended me to travel with this company and it did not disappoint. We arrived to Brussels around 9 a.m. and we were feeling very hungry, since we didn't eat nothing besides a couple of drinks since last night. So we had the biggest Kentucky Fried Chicken combo that we could find. It cost us about 8 euros each, but it was big enough that we left a couple of pieces of the combo for later that day. As usual, by now, we decided to walk to our hotel because I consider that walking is just the best way to wander around the city. And if you don't have any hurry to meet your destination, try it out. We took some photos of what we found interesting in some way, and after leaving our baggage in the hotel, around noon we immediately headed to the Grand Place, the central square of Brussels. We heard that it is extremely different from day to night, so we wanted to see them both. As the complete tourist that we are, we spent a good deal of time taking photos. All kind of embarrassing photos that I'm not going to show in this video, but we also genuinely enjoyed the place and the vibe that there was to it. I'm not kidding. For me, looking back at this footage after COVID, it really feels off or just weird to see that many people together and without face masks. Like something is wrong in this video. To be honest, I feel that I am a very slow person when I am somewhere I like. Partly because I am probably taking a lot of pictures of the place, but also because after that I like to experience and explore that place as much as I can. This was supposed to be some cool footage of me walking around the place. By the way, in the last video I said that the Mississippi River was next to Chicago as a joke, but some friends of mine that saw the video told me that the sarcasm I used was not nearly enough. So yeah, I know that the Mississippi River is in Canada, okay? Continuing with the video, we spent part of our afternoon over there and also at a market nearby. We returned to our hotel around 5 p.m, Hotel Aviation by the way, to eat the rest of what we left from the KFC combo and to rest for a bit. Luckily, the hotel was extremely close to both these places. At 7 p.m. or so, we went back to the streets, now to eat one of the famous waffles of Brussels. I'm not much of a food tourist, but I mean, come on, look at these beauties. Who wouldn't wanna eat that? 10 out of 10. We ate our waffles during our way to the Grand Place. Now to see how it was during the night, and oh boy, it was something very different. Those green lights and the music gave the place a whole different vibe. It was very bright and beautiful to share it with all the other people over there. Of course, we found time to keep taking some more silly pictures, but now we didn't spend that much time over there, partly because it was something that we have already seen for the most part, and partly because the whole city seemed to be alive, so we wanted to see the other places nearby. Maybe because it was Christmas, but the place, the streets, the air and the people in general felt so good to be around with. We spent the rest of our night on those bazaars, enjoying the music and everything else. We stopped by on a supermarket that just happened to be there and grabbed some drinks. We ate delicious meat, took a couple more photos of the place, one of them with this guy for some reason, and we lost track of time while walking through those streets. What a wonderful Christmas. The next morning we went to this place my friend found, called Mini Europe. It was a bit far from our hotel, but it was totally worth it. Nothing a couple of metros couldn't fix. The entrance was fairly cheap, and it also included this other thing called Atomium. It practically was an observatory, but with a lot of history inside it, a lot of scientifically-ish knowledge, and that kind of stuff. A very interesting concept to smash those two things together if you ask me, but hey, it works. This Mini Europe have pretty much a very tiny representation of nearly every point of interest built by men that a tourist could want, and many more that some of us probably had not heard about before. Of course, every single attraction, if I can call them like that, was named, but up to this point it is impossible for me to remember the majority of them. So you're gonna have to take my word for it that if what you want to see in Europe is some kind of a structure built by men, you will find it in Mini Europe. You can just go to Brussels, visit this museum, take a whole lot of pictures with the places that you want, and you can say that you visited pretty much all of Europe. No, but for real, don't do that. It is a cool place, but not that cool. For that same reason, we spent an ungodly amount of time, you guessed it, taking pictures of ourselves and almost every single point of interest in the museum. For real, this place is not that big, but it took us like a solid 6 hours to see the whole place. We arrived at around 9 p.m. and we didn't left until after 3 p.m. We saw so many tourists arrive after us and leave before us. But hey, we were having a hell of a great time, so what are you gonna do about it? Huh? In fact, the only thing why we stopped taking so many photos while we were in there was that our phones suddenly ran out of battery. It was in that moment that I discovered that for some reason the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, the phone I was using, and also some other phones made by Samsung had a very serious problem with the battery when they were exposed to heavy cold. That was going to be a big problem. It was a genuinely serious problem, because our phones died when they were 49% of battery. I remember that goddamn number so perfectly well. After that 49, the phone instantly dropped down to like 5% and then died. The problem was that also another problem that those phones series used to have is that sometimes the charging port won't let you charge your phone when it was totally dead, because it would said that it was wet even though I perfectly knew that it wasn't. Why, Samsung? Hashtag first world problems, am I right? Hey, we were there just a few hours ago. That's the grand place. See what I mean? You can practically visit Europe within a day. But going back to raging about my phone, now we would be forced to always have in hand a battery bank for our phones, and the most important, I would have to figure back in the hotel how the heck to get my phone back alive without buying a wireless charger, because of the port thingy and because we were leaving Brussels that same night and pretty much everything we needed to travel was in my phone. Anyhow, after both our phones died, we continued looking around the Mini Europe. But it was certainly without a doubt a whole lot faster than before. Maybe because we didn't spend like 20 minutes on every single point of interest trying to get a cool photo. Still, the place was entertaining. At 3 p.m., right after we finished, we went to the Atomium, the observatory, knowing that we will not be able to get any photos nor videos over there. So, sorry for that, I don't have any footage to show you. But picture this, a museum about science with a bunch of electrical stairs, because after all, it is shaped like an actual atom, and also a pretty sick view of the Mini Europe and a part of the city from above. Damn, I really wish I'd have photos from that place. It was such a sick view. But what can I do, right? We spent another solid 1.5 hours over there, even without our phones. So at 4:30 p.m. we were heading back to our hotel, just to grab our stuff and rushed to the airport. We arrived to Hotel Aviation around 5 p.m. and our flight was at 7, so yeah, we were a bit late. Lucky us, the plane was also a bit late and we arrived just fine with no problem. If you're interested into our next destination during this trip, or if you want to see some more videos in general like this one, please consider subscribing, and you can also check out this other holiday-ish playlist over here. I'll be seeing you in another video just like this one. Bye bye.